Hello, my name is Ben Greuel, and I serve as the National Wildlife Campaign Manager for the Sierra Club, based here in beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Happy Wolf Awareness Week. I'm beyond humbled to have the opportunity to speak to you today, but before I do, I want to take the time to praise the Wisconsin chapter of the Sierra Club, staff and volunteers for their great work bringing Wolf Awareness Week to the folks in our great state. I'm beyond ecstatic that the chapter is bringing such critical information to the public at such a critical time for our nation's environmental laws and native wildlife. My charge today is to talk to you about the 2001 Roadless Rule, and specifically the role of the rule protecting wildlife habitat for all sorts of critters, but especially the gray wolf. Enacted in 2001, the Roadless Rule designated forests across the country as inventoried roadless areas, prohibiting the building of, you guessed it, new roads. But it also prohibited logging and other harmful industrial activities on these lands, including mining. In totality, the rule protects 58.5 million acres, spanning 39 states and parts of 154 national forests. From the green vistas of Oregon's Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest to the rolling hardwoods and evergreens of our very own Chequamegon-Nicolet, these intact forest areas represent some of the last stretches of our nation's wild lands. Here in the Badger State, we have roughly 69,000 acres of roadless lands, entirely on the Chequamegon-Nicolet. But what makes these unroaded lands so special isn't just their natural beauty, it's what the beauty harbors. These forests help keep rivers and streams clean, they cleanse the air we breathe and help form our atmosphere. They provide shelter for wild animals, from grizzly bears to ladybugs and, of course, the gray wolf. Roadless lands provide core habitat for many species, but especially for species like the gray wolf, which require large swaths of intact, connected habitat to survive and thrive. Roads fragment these habitats and disrupt migration corridors for prey. And further, by definition, the Roadless Rule protects these areas from development that often accompanies road building. When we think about ensuring that we have reliable core habitat for our state's wolves, we are in part talking about the thousands of acres of land in our state that are protected by the Roadless Rule. Fortunately, the Roadless Rule is under attack. Earlier this year, the Trump administration started the process to repeal this law, taking marching orders from their cronies and extractive industries, marching toward elimination of this critical safeguard. Fortunately, people across the country are speaking up. Despite a short and unprecedented 21-day comment period in response to the initial proposal, over 400,000 people spoke up in favor of the rule via the comment portal. And now we need you to let your elected representatives know that you oppose eliminating protections for these roadless lands. When you get a second after this video, please take a moment to call Wisconsin Senator Baldwin's office and let her know that as a Wisconsinite, you are in strong support of the Roadless Rule and the clean air, clean water, and wildlife habitat this popular safeguard provides. And we respectfully request that you do everything you can to ensure the Roadless Rule remains in effect for future generations to enjoy. In conclusion, it just so happens that the development of the Roadless Rule was led by Wisconsinite and former Forest Service Chief Mike Dombeck, continuing our proud history of conservation leadership. To quote Mike, the Roadless Rule is a down payment on the well-being of future generations. And I would add, the well-being of future generations of Wisconsin wolves, who need these unroaded lands to survive, thrive, and ensure future generations of Canis lupus is able to make our beautiful state home. Thank you for your time. Keep up the fight.